Are you spending hours trying to make something perfect only to still feel like it's not enough? In today's episode, I'm going to show you how perfectionism may actually be reducing your impact, increasing your stress, and wasting your time, and how to break free from it while still producing high quality work. Hi, my name is Tori, and welcome to the Modern Humanitarian and Development Leader podcast. So, in this episode, you're going to learn why high performers are especially vulnerable to perfectionism, 3 signs your work has crossed from quality into perfectionism, and how to escape the perfectionism trap while still producing strong work. Ready? Let's get into it. So, after training and coaching hundreds of humanitarian and nonprofit leaders globally, I've noticed something interesting. The people who struggle the most with perfection are often the people who care the most. They care deeply about their teams, their communities, their donors, their impact, their projects. And because they care so much, they often believe things need to be perfect. I've been there, believe me, I know. The donor report needs to be perfect. The proposal needs to be perfect. The presentation needs to be perfect. And what's important to understand is this usually comes from good intentions. You want to do well. You want to create an impact. You want to avoid mistakes. And even better, you want to avoid failure. But many leaders don't even realize that this is just that, a belief. This report needs to be perfect is not a thought, not an opinion, but they believe it's a fact. And that's where perfectionism starts to create problems. I was recently coaching a leader who was working on a donor report. She had already spent hours on it. The report was clear, the donor requirements were met, the information was accurate, but she kept going back to it, changing wording, changing the formatting, rewriting sections, reading and rereading it over and over again. And while she was doing this, other important work was piling up. Her stress was increasing. She was working later hours. And the irony was, the donor likely would never even notice most of the changes that she was spending this time on. That's the thing about perfectionism. At some point, the extra effort stops adding meaningful value. And instead, it starts feeding anxiety. So, to be clear, quality work is important. I'm not saying we should do careless work, but there is a difference between quality and perfectionism. Quality work creates impact. Perfectionism often creates overwhelm, procrastination, and exhaustion. So, how do you know that you've crossed that line? Here are 3 signs. Sign number 1, notice feeling behind in your work. Perfectionism is often driven by emotions like fear, pressure, anxiety, or desperation. Quality work, however, tends to feel more focused, intentional, motivating, and satisfying. Sign number 2, you are no longer adding meaningful value. So ask yourself, is this thing that I'm doing now, this additional effort, actually improving the end product? Is it actually improving the outcome? Or are you spending another hour changing things that most people won't even notice, especially at the expense of other priorities, your well-being, or your time? Sign number 3, you procrastinate or avoid the task completely. This surprises many leaders, but perfectionism often looks like procrastination. Because if your brain believes something must be perfect, it can feel overwhelming to even know where to start. So, how do you break free from this perfectionism trap? And once again, The 3 signs are: number 1, feeling behind in the work with emotions like fear, pressure, anxiety, depression. Number 2, you're no longer adding meaningful value to what you're doing. And number 3, you're procrastinating or avoiding something completely. So, here are a few things that can help you overcome the perfectionist trap. First, commit to a specific completion time before you begin. Decide ahead of time, when am I done? Not when it feels perfect, but when the time is complete. Number 2, aim for good enough. And good enough does not mean low quality. It means work that is effective, valuable, and complete without wasting unnecessary energy trying to eliminate every possible imperfection. Third, learn to recognize perfectionism in real time. Notice the signs. Are you rereading something excessively? Are you avoiding submitting it? Are you working from anxiety instead of intention? Awareness is what allows you to interrupt these patterns. And finally, when the time is up, stop. Submit the report, send the email, deliver the presentation, and reward yourself for following through instead of endlessly tweaking. Because leadership is not about producing perfect work. It's about creating meaningful impact sustainably. So, as a summary, if you want to know whether you've crossed the line from quality into perfectionism, just ask yourself, how does this work feel emotionally? Am I still adding meaningful value? Or am I spending extra time because I'm afraid it won't be good enough? Because quality work creates impact. But perfectionism often creates overwhelm, procrastination, and wasted energy. And the goal is not perfection. The goal is meaningful, sustainable impact. Until next week, keep evolving. Bye for now. Are you the type of leader that tells others what to do? Or do you let them figure it out for themselves? Understanding your leadership style is the first step to deciding what's working for you and what's not. To find out your leadership style, take my free quiz, What is Your Leadership Style? You'll immediately find out your default style, how it may be impacting your team, and a few practical ways to become an even better leader. Just click on the link in the show notes, www.aidforaidworkers.com/quiz, fill out your quiz, and click submit. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.aidforaidworkers.com/quiz and discover your leadership style now. Your team will thank you for it.